Well, howdy y'all. I'm back again the next day. I just got this thing ready to go. Air warmed up on it. Trying to think, where did I park the excavator? The Dozer sitting back there. What I'm gonna do, start on, I need to get this dirt pile out of my way, and then I'm gonna start cutting in this hill going down Worx Road. I think it's gonna be easier for me just to cut that with a Dozer and work a lot of that dirt down here. I need to start moving some dirt. Right up there is where my driveway is going to start, and I need to get some dirt in there because that is bad soft. It'll barely support the dump truck right now as is, and I'm going to let this dry out a little bit longer. But we are going to go up here and get the excavator and come back here and move that topsoil, which I have no idea where I'm even going to put it yet. Alright, so I've got to get me a little bench top cut on this thing. Up under the power line than it is, so I'm glad that I at least had enough sense to get it further out from under the power line. This ain't nothing but topsoil. Well, it ain't the best Okay, I'm gonna go figure out where I'm gonna dump this at. Still don't know yet. Alright, I got load number 2 loaded up. The whole road here just ain't holding up very great. The whole thing is truck is heavy as hell. Bad spongy. Thing just set down. Oh Lord. That's great. This is what I hate about this mess. I don't need to walk under that. Well, let's see if 6-wheel drive will pull her out. Well, I tell y'all what, if it wasn't for bad luck, well, I don't guess that was bad luck because we made it out. That right there was quite impressive, that thing pulling itself out of that. I know it's hard to tell how deep those ruts are, but that ain't no joke. Well, I guess now I need to go get the excavator and cut this crap out. Oh man, this is why I can't get nothing done on this project. I'm gonna just load me out some good dirt right there and probably dump about 2 loads down here too. I might as well go get on the dozer and fix a lot of this because this stuff is bad soft. Like over in here, I'm gonna end up messing up my new water line. Alright, so let's see if we can cut this little nasty crap out. maybe y'all can see I got it cut out. Man, that's gonna take a lot of dirt. I could keep going, but that's just gonna have to work for now. It's basically where all that water is underground coming through this hill right there. That right there is just bad, muddy. But I think if I can get 4 or 5 feet of this good red dirt or good clay on top of it, that'll be enough to support whatever. So let's go up here and load this truck out, start moving dirt in the hole. But outside the truck. I'm hoping it's just a air operated pilot valve. But I really need another person to be outside the truck, figure out which one it is. today. So I told y'all I had a story about the Dozer today, and last video the blade fault went away, and then the cat technician texted me this morning and said, hey, we got the harness animal, come after I fix this other machine and replace the one on the Dozer. I said, okay, cool. So he comes and replaces the harness and said that the fault cleared. And I was thinking, well, there wasn't a fault on it whenever I shut her down. And he said, good to go. I was like, all right, great. Fired it up. And this is what it keeps doing. It'll keep searching, I guess, for the position of things, and after a while, I guess it times out and gives a fault. And she's still not fixed. So that's another service charge that I'll be hit with. Drive time and all that bullshit. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with these machines. We try something, it don't work. Got to come back, try something else. We're just shooting in the dark. To me, it faulted, it went away, it come back. It's probably not going to be a harness, but anyway, what do I know? Well, that first load went absolutely nowhere. Now at least I can back the truck down in there and dump it. Oh man, I'm running out of time. I've got to get that hole filled in before it rains, or I will be screwed. Almost lost it again. That's what I'm saying, the bed won't come down. How about I can back up some more? Yeah, maybe I can back on up into the... I'm just gonna run up this dirt here and get my bed angled back the other way, maybe to come down. Well guys, the cat guy came today and replaced the other harness. I guess there was 2 harnesses. He said that the fault I'm getting is that sensor. Basically, it lets the blade know left and right, not your tilt, but your angle. So that's the one that don't show on the screen. And y'all are about to fire it up with me for the first time since he's replaced it. So I don't know if it fixes it or not. But now, this is what I don't really agree with. He said that these sensors take about 3 to 5 minutes to initialize, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second when this thing boots up. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to initialize, and then it will show you the position of the blade and the dozer. But what I've seen is when this thing sits there and you got the little swirlies going around, you got these that it's sitting there waiting. When it takes forever for those to come up, that's when you get the blade fault. So we're going to see. I don't think it takes 3 to 5 minutes for this thing to figure out where it is. It's usually like a minute at the most. But we're about to find out. Y'all just bear with me. See, that literally took 30 seconds and they're already figured out where they're at. Usually when it sits there and it does its swirl marks for a good little bit, it's about to fault. So let's get this thing moved back down the hill and see if we can't move some dirt. Yep, you want to go help? Huh? Hog ahead. Big old baby. Alright, I got me a load of dirt loaded up right there and I already got one on the or in the hole. Let's get this worked in real quick. See what this thing's gonna do. I literally just drove it down here and parked it. Trying to get y'all a good angle inside the dozer. I don't think there is one. Okay, so that's working in there pretty nice. I'm figuring about 3 more loads. Back the dozer on up so I can come back this way. And I use the truck to kind of pack it down. Y'all can still see it's still a little soft in here. So I figure one time through, dump it. That should pack it on down a little better. I'll probably dump the first load there and then dump another one in here and then spread those 2 out. So maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 more. So one of my problems right now is I've got to get this tree out of my way. That's going to give me a lot more dirt right there. Need this to go down in that rut. Try to get me some dry dirt down in the ruts. Need to get this tree down and out of the way, and that way I can scoot over a little bit. If I don't get my truck over a little bit more, the power line's about to catch me. I really want to keep this oak tree right there. What I'll do is when I get done, get all the dirt I can, I'll take these piles of dirt like this right here and just pull it back off the slope. Maybe that will help soften it a little bit, but I'm not just real worried about it. Trying to save this dirt. A little bit of roots ain't gonna hurt nothing for this. I really didn't want to take no trees down, but I really don't have no choice. this one had to be. All I want to do is just get it up out of the way if I can. May not have enough machine to really move it. I got me 2 more loads down there ready to work in. I think what I'm gonna do is bust them out, then I'm gonna come up here with a dozer and fix this, because I've got a hole right here that I need to fill in. So I'm gonna take a lot of this loose dirt, and as long as I don't really cut any more into here, I'll be fine with my water line. I know it hugs the side of this hill, so really I just need to take this and work it down, kind of reestablish everything and get my bearings back right. Okay, got that worked in there. I think now all I got to do is pretty much just build up where the actual road is. And I think what I'm going to do is probably make it go a little bit more on this side instead of where it was over here. Yep, about 27 more loads of dirt and we'll have it.
Alright, maybe Lindsay won't use my last one, but welcome to Uncle Rook's Dirt Show. We're going to try not to tear the power lines up. We're going to try not to tear the water line up. Thankful Lindsay's finally getting our road ready. I've been supposed to do this for years, but I know how it is. Usually either raining, he ain't got no help, so he's basically been doing it by himself. Thankfully he's bought some really big nice equipment that makes it a little easier, but working by yourself is never easy, because there's always something tears up. You always just need a little something, and an extra person that halfway knows what they're doing helps out. Good at this, but I can do it a little bit. Tell y'all about my week. Lord, I had a week. first couple of days, man, we were rolling. I was thinking, man, if we keep this momentum up, we are going to have such a good week. And then Wednesday rolled around. There was a little confusion on some things. I got a guy that leaves early. He has to get his kids. His wife works like basically night shift, and then he's got to go pick his kids up, which is understandable. I'm thankful my wife finally quit work, so I don't have to go do all that. And I used to try to run 2 jobs and pick kids up or drop kids off. It's not easy. Thankful my wife finally quit. She kept, for y'all that don't know, my wife is Lindsay's sister. She kept giving me different stipulations. She's like, you gotta save this much money, and then you gotta save that much money, then you gotta do this, you gotta do that, and we gotta pay this car off and pay this much off on our mortgage. She just kept giving me all these loops to jump through, and they weren't unrealistic. They just took a little time, and I'd meet them, and then she'd give me some new ones, and I'm like, no. After about the second time she done that, I was like, no, I done did everything you said. It's time to quit that job. But, I mean, that doesn't work for everybody. I know that. But at that time, I'd been working, I had a career that I'd been doing for, I don't know, at that time it was like 18 years, and it finally was making good money. And it was just kind of almost on autopilot. I spent a lot of time volunteering. I just had a lot of freedom, and I volunteered for about 5 years and learned how to cut trees. And then Lindsay's sister's like, you ain't going no more, because I go for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time and come back, and I cut hair for, like I said, for 18 years. So it's really hard to keep a lot of, everybody's schedule right. It takes so long to kind of figure it out and just figure out everybody and figure out how, some people are just, like to change appointments, and some people like to make appointments every 4 weeks or 2 weeks or 1 week or whatever. And it's just trying to learn how to get, who to deal with and who not to deal with. There's a lot of that. There's just, some people are just excellent. You want to take care of them, and then some are just pains in the butt, and you gotta learn to let the pain in the butt ones go. Because some people just work you to death. It's different if you want to work somebody to death than if you want to pay them. There has to be a balance. But to work somebody to death and not reward them is not, I don't think it's good. But so anyways, the whole back to the week, Wednesday thought it was gonna go okay, but the guy had to leave, and that morning the guys asked, he wanted to go get the dump trailer that he left when he left early. And I said, yeah, go get it. And one of the other guys was like, I'm gonna go with him to help him. And I was like, man, if it takes 2 of y'all to lift the trailer up, it's pitiful. Well, they're like, well, that truck don't have a backup camera. I don't care if something don't have a backup camera. Yeah, we're spoiled, and we like Lindsay and some of us will work hard and we get some toys that are nice, but that don't mean that just because like all this technology goes away, we're gonna lay down. If all this stuff tears up, we're gonna have to keep working. We're gonna have to cut the wires for all this backup cameras and keep running these hydraulics and these engines, because we got bills to pay. Like, we can't just lay down because things ain't perfect or they're not easy. But the truck that the guy I think really was upset about was the truck that he's driving. It's like basically the oldest truck we got, and it shakes and it ain't perfect, and the bed on it's old aluminum bed, it just it ain't perfect. But he's upset that he's driving the oldest truck, and that's all it is about. He's whining about that. I told him, I said, if I gotta drive that truck, then I don't need you. And I wasn't trying to be mean. It's just, that's why I have a lot of employees, and so I can get a lot done. Like, we all gotta, I'm able to take on more jobs because I got more guys. But if they don't want to do their job, if I gotta babysit them or if I gotta hold their hand, then I can't. There's only so much I can do. So anyways, that guy went to go pick up the dump trailer, and on the way back he said he's dropping the dump trailer off, and he basically was quitting. I didn't beg him to stay. I like him. He works hard. He's a funny guy, and he's learning. guys that hold their hand while they hook up a trailer. Like, oh, I don't have a backup camera. I don't care. Don't have a backup camera. Get out and look. I don't know how many trailers I've done in my life where I didn't have no backup camera. It's not a legit reason to not want to work. And it's like, oh, the truck ain't the best truck. No, it ain't the best truck, but over the years, it didn't have air conditioner. We just put air conditioner on that truck. It didn't have good tires. I finally invested and bought good tires. It had issues with the brakes, so I got a guy. I took it to a shop, let them do all new brakes, rotors, everything, so it stops good. Finally put whatever the air conditioner part that was messed up. Finally put that on it, and now it's blowing cold air. We all drove that truck with a lot worse conditions. It actually has a working brake controller, so it controls the brakes properly. That truck's just way nicer than it used to be. But this one of my guys was complaining about driving it. He didn't like it. He said it's not that nice. It shakes. And whenever it's loaded down, which that truck, it's only a 20,000 pound truck, but if it's loaded down, and then you got a trailer that's loaded down, I mean it's hauling more weight than it's probably supposed to. So you gotta take it easy. He said it wasn't real fast. Like, it ain't supposed to be fast. It's supposed to be slow. You're pulling heavy stuff, you're not supposed to fly. Anyways, that all happened Wednesday morning, and then my crane driver drove under a low Comcast line and pulled a 3-phase wire over on a big neighborhood, and luckily it didn't tear up anybody's TVs and stuff, but it did break the pole, and it pulled the pole down on top of one of my trucks, which is my truck my brother drives, which used to be my personal truck, and I really like that truck. I keep thinking, I'm gonna buy another truck, that way I can give him something. I can't give him nothing not as nice. I gotta find something nice, but I just love that truck. I got a lot of money in the engine and nice lift kit, wheels, bumper, air locker, and all kind of stuff on it. It's just a nice Silverado. I've been driving a Ford and I like it alright. Just that Silverado. Anyways, that thing got tore up, and then yesterday I had to go pick up some suppressors that come back, and I wasn't there with the guys, so that stole some time from us. I don't know how it is. If my guys are working, we barely do, we don't do a third or a fourth of what we do if I'm there, riding them, working them like mules. We make a lot more money. I tell them all the time, am I that, I don't know if I'm that hard on them, or if I'm that, I don't mean to micromanage, but I just hustle them. I make them hustle. I'm cutting, I ain't asking no questions. As long as nobody's under me, we cutting trees, baby. We trying to rock and roll. Trying to do it as safe and fast and efficient as possible. And if I'm there, we're making some money, baby. Unless something just majorly breaks, or somebody quits, or something like that, or power lines get pulled over. But we were having a good week until the power lines got pulled over, and the other guy quit all in the same day. But anyway, that guy, he come back. But this week, it's turned out to be pretty good. With all that happening, I'm just thankful nobody got hurt on that power line deal, and it didn't rip any. Which the water and light guy come out, and he's like, "How tall is your truck?" I was like, "Well, it's 13.2." He's like, "Oh, never mind, you're all right." I was like, "Man, these lines, if I'm not mistaken, may be wrong, but as long as you're not 13.6, you don't have to have a permit, if I'm mistaken. But technically, if I'm mistaken, all the lines are supposed to be 14 foot, like a minimum of 14 foot. But tree limbs fall and things happen, and it makes lines sag, and when it makes lines sag, 13, my truck's 13.2, and the problem is on my crane, there's a little bar that sticks out right at the very top. It's about that long, and so if a line gets under it, there ain't no forgiveness. I really want to run like a string, a little line, a little something, like a little guide wire that'll keep it from snagging stuff. It's not snagged a lot, but it has snagged a couple lines. It's usually after storms when stuff's sagging and hanging low. I'm sure Lindsay's yelling at me saying I ain't doing a good job. professional. I'm a crane operator. I'm gonna want to be an excavator operator. I got an excavator, but it's a baby one compared to this one. I like running Lindsay stuff. I'm thankful he finally got this big one. This thing's cool. I'll be glad when he gets like a 336 or something, a monster one. That'd be fun. My brother has a lot of experience on excavators, and he's like, this one's fun to run, but he don't like running like minis. He don't like running 10, 12,000 pound, 13,000 pound machines. He said because they move too much. But he's got experience in some big 335 and stuff like that. He said they don't just like throw you around the cab. I don't know if Lindsay's sister's here, but she is. She's gonna be yelling at me. We're supposed to take the kids to watch a movie tonight. Tonight is Thursday night, which is typically guys' night for Lindsay and them. Him and a few buddies always go to dinner and eat some good food and hang out and talk about life. I would go with them, but if y'all seen how pretty Lindsay's sister is, y'all understand why I don't go. I'd rather go home and see her. Ain't none of them's pretty. She can go with that. That just don't make no sense. Go hang out with them goofballs when I could be hanging out with her. And my kids are cute. Lindsay don't have no little kids. His son's about half grown. I wonder what he's doing. Me and Lindsay try to teach him about dirt work and tree work, and and Lindsay does a lot of like millwright type stuff, like industrial maintenance stuff still, because he has a lot of experience with that. And man, the boy can come and learn the business side of stuff. It's just like it just takes so many years to learn like how to be good at something, and kids want to they don't want to know what their parents know. They want to go start over. Man, it's a hard way to live and start over, man. I hope my kids want to take over, something I got going on to make their life just a little easier. To walk into a clientele and just, hey man, treat the customers right, be fair with them, be honest with them, be good to them. Show up when you say you're going to show up, do good work. Make your co-workers act right. No smoking, no drinking, no cussing. None of that stuff, man. Just be professional and have a good time. I love cutting trees. I love running equipment. I ain't good at it, but I love it. If you told me I had to do this for a living, I ain't mad about it. I might get good at it if I did it enough. It's so funny every time me and Lindsay work together. He's like, man, what were you doing? Why'd you cut it that low? You didn't cut it deep enough. You look retarded with that arm. Shoot, I'm so good on this thing, man. I make what's that dude's name? Let's Dig or Dig 18. Somebody, I'll make him look bad. This thing, I run this thing so smooth. Y'all think somebody world famous is on this excavator running this thing. Looks so good. Maybe Lindsay can edit it, make it look smoother than I'm actually doing. Good thing about working with Lindsay, he's always on his phone. So it gives you a lot of time to like catch it. Look at it, he's on that phone. Good thing is we're on his clock, not on mine. He's got plans and I got plans. Like I said, I gotta go watch. I think we're watching How to Train a Dragon or something like that. I don't know. Some of my kids want to watch. I don't care what they watch as long as it ain't nothing just totally crazy. We watch some stuff. Me and Alicia just look at each other like we are not letting them finish this movie. We're leaving. This is good. Oh, there she is. Well, thank y'all for operating with me. Hope y'all have a blessed day.
Well, I hated to do y'all that way, but Rook showed up and got got an excavator, so I'm sure y'all got an earful. I was watching him in there. He was pointing and jibber jabbering. That's those that don't know, that's Michael O'Brien, aka Rook. Him and Cotton Topper, tree guys, I'll tell you what. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end that one here. I think, let me show y'all right here my new plan as things develop here. I'm basically, where the road was going to go about where the dozer is, I'm going to move it over further this way, because I don't have to cut down any more right here to get me room up under the power line. And we stay to the right here, we'll have a lot more room to get on the power line with equipment and stuff. So I think that's going to work out nice. Was not expecting to use all this dirt to fix the hole down there, but it is what it is. But I'm going to end this one here. Hope y'all enjoyed it. That right there is one tough dude, that's for sure. So anyway, y'all keep your eyes open. I'll see you later.